Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Married to Sports Podcast. With me, as always, I have Rodney, the facilitator, and Corey, the old man that supports the U. Guys, what's going on? How y'all
Not
doing?
much. Been a long night last night.
It's a great day to live in Illinois. It's a great day to live in Illinois.
We'll get into that here in a little bit. Guys, week one, it happened. We saw it. Boy, did we freaking see it.
We saw it live and unfiltered.
Living color.
Thank you.
It was a good weekend for football. A lot of sloppiness, but especially the kicking game.
And that brings up something I want to get into real quick. Brandon, I'm going to give you your props, man. You called it.
What?
That kicker for Atlanta is probably on his way out. The Falcons signed John Parker Romo to the practice squad. He's a former kicker. So you're probably right. He's done.
Well, he's not the only one.
Go ahead. What?
I said he probably isn't the only one.
The only kicker?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's on.
So, looking at week one college and week one pros, right? We have week two as well. I've noticed a trend. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it. One is that not one team, not true. I've seen about 3 teams out of 100 with college and pro that have played on all 3 phases of the game and played well.
Oh,
And I'm not
that is true.
I'm
That
not
is true.
Texas versus San or whoever we played last. What was it? UTSA, I think.
No, it was San Jose State last week.
Oh yeah, it was San Jose State. Sorry. I don't want to discredit San Jose State. I think UTSA is who we have next. It's one of those smaller.
You have UTEP, University of Texas El Paso.
Did we play UTSA last year? Is that the one that he had the run on?
I think you did.
Yes, you did. You played him. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I don't fact check myself. I just go off of what I remember on film, okay? So not counting the Longhorns against San Jose State, not taking anything to get away from them. I think I've only seen about 3 teams, and I don't even know if I can name them, that played well on all 3 phases. Like, if you look at that Bucks-Falcons game, like, both kickers were missing. If you look at the Green Bay game, like, Green Bay still was kind of atrocious on special teams, and that was one of their niches with special teams. Their special teams weren't great. Their defense played great. Their offense played all right. But they did not play on all 3 phases like they normally do. And I think even Cincinnati can't play on all 3 phases, but they played on defense a lot better than I thought they would. Either that or the Browns are just really that bad. I would like to think the Browns have a little bit of
I think it's a combination.
What is up with people not playing on all 3 phases? And what is up with people only playing 3.5 quarters or 3 quarters?
You know, to that point, I'm going to ask both of y'all a question. Do you feel
Well,
like...
here's the thing, Brandon.
Hold on. Do you feel like, honestly, they were playing down... A lot of these teams were playing down to their competition?
No. What do you mean?
I mean, this seems like
No.
people take... Go ahead, Corey.
To me, it looked like what it was is like, especially the NFL, it looked like the teams, they didn't play in the preseason. Honestly, I mean, I that sounds bad, but it just they didn't play in the preseason. And
Play in the preseason.
week one showed a lot of that. It showed, huh?
The special teams played in the preseason.
Most of the starters, most of those players, that already made the team.
I'm talking about the kickers.
Yeah, but a lot of those are not the same people that played on the special teams.
Siwoo Kim.
The kickers,
And-
yeah, I mean, they're
Siwoo
just
Kim. Sorry, different athlete. You for Atlanta. He kicked in the preseason. He kicked last year. He has one job: kick a field goal. McLaughlin missed an extra point.
yeah. But I'm saying all around.
And the thing was about that game, it really came down to your foot. McLaughlin had a chance to not seal it, had a chance to where they had to go down and score a touchdown. Michael Penix was going to have to carry the team to a touchdown. We were actually going to get to see if Michael Penix could do it. By the way, he was torching that Tampa Bay defense. Todd Bowles is a really good defensive coordinator, and Michael Penix was torching and throwing really good balls. It's not like they were helping him out. Like, he was hitting them in stride, putting it on the numbers. Like, he did a great job. I don't want to take anything away from Michael Penix. But towards the end of that fourth quarter, like, the defense started looking tired. Michael Penix was trashing them. And McLaughlin had a chance to make it to where Michael Penix had to go score a touchdown. He misses an extra point after he'd already missed a field goal early in the game. And then Yu comes in there, and he misses. He jacks it. That changes the entire outcome of the game right there. That's 4 points you left off the board for Tampa Bay, right? Now you got to have a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Way to help your defense out. Then you got him. He missed it. I think he missed 2 field goals in that game. That's 6 points. Help your teammates, man. 2 points
Well, that's the thing.
in that game. They win by 1. They don't even cover at that point.
Here's the thing, though.
I mean, that would hurt me, but
That's the sad part, though. The kickers and stuff. That's why I said, I've been saying all weekend the kickers looked horrible. And it's out of 32 teams, 30 kickers looked horrible. There might have been 2 kickers the whole weekend that looked good. And that's the sad part. And I think some of it has to do with that new kickoff rule, having to just kick it into a certain area.
listen, there's only 2 drills a kicker should ever be doing, right? Make him run, make him get his cardio in, make him do his weight training and all that, right? That's like every other teammate. He's part of the team. He does all that like all the teammates, right? But he should be in a tackling drill and doing kicks. All of practice. What else are you doing? Where else are you going to be on the field that you got to make a play?
Absolutely nothing.
The last thing I need is for you to be an aspect or tackle, right? I don't need you to guard the water and tackle any man that comes near it. I need you out there kicking. That's literally why you're paying millions of dollars. You're getting paid millions of dollars. This is the thing that's really irritating me in sports right now. And I'm going to kind of go off on a tangent because here's the thing. Yes, I wanted to be an athlete. Yes, I knew that being an athlete came with money. Okay? I knew that money was going to be life-changing money. I was never going to have to get a real job ever. Okay? That was going to be what I did every day for the rest of my life, and I was going to love it because that's what I love to do. The money was going to change my family. That was going to help later on in life. That was coming. Wasn't worried about any of that. We are so worried about the money in sports that we've lost the love of the game. Kids don't want to play. Johnny Manziel comes out and says, I don't like football. I'm just really good at it. We got all these athletes. We have college kids losing money, transferring, going into a worse situation than they were in because we have parents and agents dictating what we're doing. At what point do the GMs and owners take back the league? Listen, hey, I understand you want to play at Texas. I understand you're a great athlete, and I understand if you go somewhere else, I understand that they'll probably let you play. But me, unless you're going to be here throughout the whole system and show me that you're going to be a system guy, you're going to learn the system, and you're going to learn how to play football and that you actually love the game, I don't need you here. I don't want you here.
You're 100% right. I mean, you look at some of these athletes on the pro level, when they get that big bag, they're not performing like they were before they got the big bag. Like Justin, I mean, not saying Justin Jefferson didn't play well last night, but ultimately he dropped some balls that he normally catches.
CeeDee
So,
Lamb, Hollywood Brown. Yeah.
so ultimately,
Jamar Chase
it
only had 2 catches, I think. Somebody fact check me on that. I think Jamar Chase only had 2 catches. Maybe. I know he didn't reach his 4.5.
but ultimately, you said it earlier. You have one job, and that's to go perform because you're athletes and you're entertainers together. People want to be entertained. They don't want to go see sloppy play all the time because tickets are so expensive. The common fan can't afford to go to the game anymore. Do you agree with that, Corey? You would.
Sorry, I was looking that up.
I
Yeah.
do. I agree with it. These guys have one job to do. You know, but when they start making that money, unfortunately, money changes people. Whether not always for the good. And I know that the kids nowadays and the younger adults nowadays, they don't train like the Walter Paytons used to, Jerry Rice, you know, uh, Marcus Allen, and them guys. They don't train like they used to. And I mean, some of the players, maybe some of the reason they're like Justin Jefferson's dropping balls is maybe he should get rid of some of the chains around his neck, the gold. Maybe it's weighing him down a little bit. It's more about being flashy than being. They're caring about what they're wearing when they come in before the game and not what they're doing during the game.
I'm gonna push back
They're
on
they're
you.
more they're more set on making sure their fashion is good.
I'm gonna push back on you on the training. I've watched
What's that?
I've watched little kids come out there and train with us, um, the professional women, and we train like we did in college. Um, I watch these little kids come out there, and they've got their own coaches, like personal coaches, weight training coaches. They've got 6, 7, 8 different coaches on top of their actual coach at school. Um, no, the training has actually evolved so much that that's not the issue. The issue is up here, the 6 inches that you have to play with every time you step on that field. The issue is the me mentality, not the us win 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 mentality. We have too many players outshining the team, and this is I'm going to take this, and I want I don't know if I've said it on this podcast. I know we've talked about it a lot, and I'm really tired of talking about it. Micah Parsons. There is nothing that Micah Parsons has done that says I should be the highest paid non-player, non-quarterback. I should be the highest non-paid non-quarterback. Okay, he has not exceeded what T.J. Watt has done. He's not exceeded what Myles Garrett has done. There are several other. Max Crosby is another one that I don't think he's better than. There are several players in the league that I don't think that he's better than. However, I hate having this conversation because Micah Parsons is my favorite player in the league. I hate that he's no longer a Cowboy. I hate that we gave him to Green Bay. I don't like what we did in the trade. I thought we could have done a whole lot better. I thought we could have done a whole lot more. Green Bay fans, you guys are making this impossible for me because I have to say what's the truth, but you're making me out and down one of my favorite players in all of NFL history. All of NFL history. Micah Parsons is one of my favorite players I've ever seen in my life.
And
Brandon,
you know what?
I got to push
Yeah,
back on you here. Not on the Micah thing. Okay, you just made the comment about training. With the professional, like the women, when the kids come out, and they have, training has evolved. But you just said they have like, they could have up to like after 8 different, trainers. Where does that stop? Who do
It's
you listen to? When you have so many coaches, and you've got so many ways they're pulling you because, no offense, but every person, every coach has their own agenda. They have their way of wanting to do stuff. And when you have so many different coaches, you look at just basketball players, AAU players, they have at least 3 coaches.
I will answer that. I'll answer that for you. I'm gonna tell. This is what I tell my running backs in game time situations, and you can apply this into life. There's gonna come a moment when everything that I've ever said is gonna go out the window, and you have to make a decision. And when you make that decision, it's gonna work out one of two ways. You're either gonna break one, and you're gonna go a long way, or you're gonna get tackled. How that plays out is going to dictate what I say to you next. But if you should have gone one way, or if you were trained to go one way, and you go against the grain and you break one for a touchdown, I'm going to congratulate you because you made an awesome choice. You made a great decision, and you made a game-changing play. If you got tackled, it's because you should have listened to my advice and done what you knew to do and follow your blocker. Right? Same in life. Our parents are here to teach us, okay? Unfortunately, there's not a book. There's several books out there. But other than the Bible, there's not really a book that really tells you how to do it. It's all based on experience. At some point, as an athlete, you have to have the maturity to dictate where you're going to go with this. Now, if you're lazy in the classroom, if you're lazy in the books, it is on that coach to do the interview process to find out where you're at. The reason Tyreek Hill went to Garden City before he went back to D1 was because he wasn't good in the books. He's a great athlete. Garden City had nothing good to say about him, but you as a person, like me, I had all this outside noise, right? I listened to the Hall of Famer because that's where I wanted to go.
and I agree with that. Excuse me. It's a lot more mental development that's lacking than the physical because you're seeing these athletes get bigger, faster, stronger, and be able to make the most athletic plays compared to when I was a kid, even. I mean, yeah, you'd see some great plays back then, but now it's like we live in a highlight reel world. Everybody wants to highlight. But ultimately, it's about the mentality.
Well, and something
Because,
else that
At the end of the day, this is still a dog eat dog world, right? If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards because the rest of the world's moving. You either get on or get off. There is no in between. There is no middle ground. There are
well,
winners and there are losers. And I hate to put it that way, but at the end of the day, there's a conversation. In every conversation, there's a sale being made. Either you're selling your friend on why y'all should go out and hang out at the mall for a day, or your friend is going to close you on why they can't.
let me ask you this. I've often wondered about this. When you have all these outside trainers that we're seeing today with these athletes, and you're the coaching staff, are y'all always on the same? Do y'all know what the trainers are doing on the outside, or are y'all on the same page with them a lot of times?
What do you mean? Like if a kid comes to me and he's got 10 coaches, am I talking to all 10 of his coaches?
I mean, does he come to you with a game plan of what the trainers are doing, showing you the plan for his development?
No, they're coming to me for my game plan. What do you mean?
All right. So everything's supposed to be on one page. Do you think some of this isn't always on one page when you look at these athletes today?
When I'm training I'm training an athlete for a certain purpose. So, baseball, for instance, okay? If I'm working with a pitcher, I'm working on painting the corners. I'm working on release points. I'm working on stuff that you've already developed your pitches, hopefully, by this point. Does that make sense? If I've got a
Yeah.
little kid, right, I'm going to show him the laces. That's a whole nother thing. When I have football players, right, they already know their running backs. I'm just plugging in, right? So,
Right.
for instance, I have running backs that have kids. Sometimes their kids will come and they'll run the drills, right? I run them the same way I'm running my running backs. The object is they read the cones, they hear the play, right? The newcomers, I'll tell them what they're doing, right? Where they're going. I'll say this means this means this. Do you understand, right? And then I'll tell them when we're lining up, hey, do you know where you're going, right? Because that's not going to happen in a game time. And they're going to say, yeah, right here, right? I don't want them knowing my playbook. They have their own playbook they have to know. But they need to know where they're going. They need to know how to read, right? That's not going to change no matter what system you're in. If you know how to read and you know how to read your blockers, right? That'll never change no matter what level you're on. That makes sense?
It does make sense.
Like, I don't you will hear me get louder and more frustrated the older and longer you've been playing. If that makes any sense. A 5-year-old can make a mistake, and I'm going to laugh about it. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to get in his ear, and I'm going to calmly tell him what he did wrong and how to do it. And when he lines up again, I'm going to make sure that he understands the full concept, right? Make sure that he understands everything that he is doing, and then we're going to go, right? When you get into the junior high level, you make the mistake. I'm gonna get in your ear. Second time, hey man, what are you doing? The third time, get your butt on the sideline. You know what I mean? Now you get into high school, right? Now it's one mistake. I'm gonna get in your ear. Two mistakes. Hey man, what are you doing? I don't have time for this. You should have already you should be past this by now. At the pro level, it really doesn't make any sense to me. You have one job. Your job is literally for 8 hours a day, you get to go play football. If you can't figure out how to catch by the time you're a pro, what are you doing?
That's exactly right, and that's what we're seeing today. I mean, there were so many drop balls this weekend that were, even if they were poorly thrown, they were in close enough range that a lot of them should have been caught. So I totally agree with you.
Hey, real quick, this episode is brought to you in part by Heaven Sent Hellbent Gear. Get your 15% off hshbgear.com. Enter the promo code MARRIED and receive your 15% off hshbgear.com. And W Energy, get your 10% off. Promo code MARRIED at wenergy.com. I've tried a couple of the energy drinks. They are really, really good. Chris has another energy drink that is sponsoring us as well. And I keep forgetting the name of it.
Liquid Nitro, I think.
Liquid Nitro.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. So
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
We saw you okay, too.
Okay. I'm just glitching. That's why I turned.
Issues.
No, when I was having my camera on, Brandon, you were making faces that were, as you were talking. If I'd had a phone and I could have taken the pictures, your wife would pay good money for those.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So that is why I have my camera off right now.
So he's
I'm seeing if I can get a better reception.
So he's taking pictures of you
Basically,
without.
he doesn't want me to see that he's taking pictures of my face.
Exactly. I was going to say it.
Now
That laugh gives it away.
I was
Corey.
going
Make
to, but
sure.
I didn't.
This episode
right.
got way serious.
So
we got way serious. I wanna go
So
back to-
well, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Here's my real quick take, and then we can go on. You know, my biggest pushback to everything, and it comes down to it, is every person's different, every kid's different, every coach is different. You know, I think nowadays the kids, there's just too many ears or too many mouths in the kids' ears as they're progressing, and that is what is watering down a lot of our athletes. You know, we're seeing it at UCLA right now, you know, in football, unfortunately. But, and then what you made the comment about Tyreek Hill, that is something else that these athletes need to realize, that even though they don't want to be role models, they are. And what they do in their personal lives does have an effect on the fans. You know, Tyreek Hill, whether it's guilty or not, he's been accused of it not just this year, but years past, of being domestic abuse. And we can't have that as, with our athletes. I'm sorry, we have kids that look up to you, and whether you like it or not, it's just
I met
something that
Tyreek's mom and his
somewhere
wife.
in there. Huh?
I met Tyreek's mom.
Do what?
I met Tyreek's mom, Tyreek, and Tyreek's wife at a clinic at Putnam City. Not last year, year before. He was actually he's really short. But no, they were very, very nice people. I'm talking about on the field. He wasn't a good student, like he just grade wise. That's why he had to go to a JUCO and come back up to D1. He
Yeah,
eligibility.
I know that. I'm just saying though, since he's gotten at Miami though, he's gotten more bad publicity. And you know what? I'm not saying it's true. But we one of the things we're not teaching these athletes as they're coming up is, what you do off the field can affect what happens on the field. We've seen it this year already with Kansas City. Look how bad they missed Rice in that first game. They've got 3 more games without him, or 4 more games without him. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I understand
I'm gonna push back on that too, because what he did was wrong, but he's also done a lot in that community and to help that family to try to make things right. So
no, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is we see it. You know what? We joke about it with the Cowboys back when they were in the Super Bowls. Michael Irvin, Nate Newton, the guys I love watching. The stuff that the cameras are on more. You no matter what happens, the cameras are on now when you walk out of your house, with the phones and stuff. As I'm going to quote, as Tony Maynard said, nothing good happens after midnight, and that's true.
Here's the thing. It's really
that's
on
what I'm
the
trying
parents.
to get at, Brandon. Is
it's really on the parents. Like, I'm listening to you, but these parents are so worried about pushing the athlete that they're not pushing the man they're raising. They're sending out men that aren't standing on anything.
I agree with that.
They're sending out boys.
That is true. And that's what I'm saying is, and that's where it comes to side by side. As there's so many people in their ears.
But I hate saying that right
as they, as they're going up.
That's not at all pointed at Tyreek Hill or at the other kid you mentioned. My statement.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
Well, I just want that to be very clear that I'm not pointing
The
my
thing is
statement
I'm
towards
just
like
saying,
Tyreek Hill and them. I'm just what you're saying is really it's
no,
all on the parents, and until these parents start pushing out men and women, like it's gonna continue to fall.
yeah, and well, the thing is perfect example. Look at what happens. There's so many cameras. Go back to Ray Rice. I believe in giving second chances. He got blackballed after what happened on camera with his wife. You know, and that was in a elevator. I'm just saying these guys, they got to understand that the camera's always on them, even when they're not on the field. And when you're growing up, that's something the parents do need to do. Hey, if you want to become a superstar, here's something you also got to remember. You got to live life the right way. You can't put yourself in bad situations along the way because it can come back and bite you.
And you know what? I'm gonna add to that. And forget the cameras a second. If we didn't have cell phones or whatever else, the media presence more today is more today than ever. Everything's picked up either way. So I agree, but ultimately, you got
You don't want it on
you.
camera. You shouldn't be doing it behind closed doors.
That's the point I'm making.
Exactly.
That was the
And
point I'm
that's the thing.
saying.
They,
I
these
mean, we were talking about on camera. If we took the cameras away from the individuals, we still have video cameras with the news media, so it's going to be out there. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
All right, so enough of that. Let's get into what we want to talk about, really. Last night's game.
No. I don't want to get into one last game.
oh,
I don't. I want to get into why these coaches are blowing leads. I
All
want to
right.
know who's under more pressure right now. Jim Harbaugh, not Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, or your dude in Carolina.
Ooh. Ultimately, I'm going to go with John Harbaugh, and I'm going to tell you why. That team's a lot more stable, has had always a solid base, a foundation to play. Not being able to get to that over that hump and get to the Super Bowl, and his mismanagement of game and changing the system with play calling within what's working to going back to what's not working. That's on the coaching. That's not always on the players. So I think he's on the hottest seat right now.
Corey, what do you think?
I don't think it's Harbaugh because, at least not yet. If it will, if we were at the end of the year, I'd say it'd be Harbaugh. Right now, it's on Canales because they look. Besides Miami, they look like the worst team in the NFL in Week 1, and you know it is just amazing. That blowing leads. I understand you shouldn't be doing it. Period. And I'm sorry, but Josh Allen is definitely at a different level than who Carolina faced in Week 1. And yeah, Carolina, they're a
All
mess.
right. I'm going to push back a little bit on that, Corey. Honestly, I wasn't expecting us to get to. I said I wanted to see at least a 7-2 win improvement. I knew where we were. When you got a quarterback and a defense that can take you to the Super Bowl every year, don't you think the seat's hotter?
And see, I think both y'all are. I think both y'all are
Now,
missing it. I think I think John Harbaugh is the hottest seat in the house right now. Now that doesn't mean he's going to get fired mid season. I don't think the Ravens are going to do that. That's not the organization that does that. John Harbaugh has to have the hottest seat in the house. You didn't just give up a lead in the fourth quarter. You gave up a 40-25 lead with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
You gave it up to Josh Allen, to the Buffalo Bills at home. You have buckled under pressure more times than not. You don't have Ray Lewis and Ed Reed anymore. In fact, on paper, it's really hard to take the two best defensive guys ever to play the game out. But when you have Jair Alexander and when you have the Ravens defense, Roquan Smith, all those guys that you have on the Ravens defense, and you give up a 40-25 lead, and your best receiver on that team is Shakir, what are we doing? What are we doing? I thought Dayball had the hottest seat going into Sunday night. Russell Wilson did not look good. That offensive line did not look better. And in fact, in a rivalry game, I thought 6.5 points was a lot. I had the Commanders to win outright, but the Giants couldn't even keep it close. And it originally started off as a 13.5 point spread. There is no way John Harbaugh doesn't get fired by this year. He has to go on an amazing run and win a Super Bowl.
The thing is the thing with Baltimore, though, is, yeah, they gave up that big lead and everything. But as you were talking about, Roquan Smith, Jair Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, Abuke at the middle.
Not a BK.
I see this next game. I would almost put money that Cleveland scores 7 points or less, because they're going to come out and they're going to want to prove that what happened with Buffalo was a fluke. And just knowing the Baltimore defense over the years, they're going to come out and make Cleveland not wish they weren't on the field.
I don't think Cleveland's going to be very good at all this year. I have a hard time seeing them get 5 wins. So the Ravens going up to the Browns and beating up on the Browns, that doesn't say anything to me. I don't have them. Before the season started, I had them sweeping the Browns. What I didn't have was them giving up a 40-25 lead in the fourth quarter in Orchard Park. That's what I didn't have. There's no way.
Neither did I, but we're always talking about get right games. Guess what? Perfect get right game for them.
There's
now,
no get right game.
If they come out, and because nobody's had Cleveland doing anything. Nobody has Cleveland doing anything. Now, if Cleveland comes out and scores 20 points on Baltimore, then we know they really have an issue.
Hang on now. You don't think
because even the greatest team.
Joe Flacco's got that game marked? Joe Flacco's not a bum. He can still sling the ball. He's not great.
He might, but he don't have the players.
Isaiah Vaughn, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku.
But I'm guaranteed. Nope, and nope.
Hang on now.
If they will not score
Isaiah
more than
Vaughn,
10 points.
If he didn't have this court case, was one of the best players, one of the best receivers in the draft. Matthew Golden and Isaiah Vaughn are arguably.
I agree.
And then Jerry Jeudy is a nice piece that runs really good routes and has pretty good hands. He had a case of the drops in Denver, but he seems to have gotten that fixed. That O-line is pretty good. That defense is pretty good. Kevin Stefanski is not a good coach. But Kevin Stefanski is why I don't have them winning very much.
I'm sticking to it.
I mean,
10 points.
All right, let me ask y'all this. if you had to say this about John Harbaugh, how do you feel about Sean McDermott? Because he's given up as many opportunities over time.
Well, thanks to John Harbaugh, my prediction is probably pretty safe.
No, I mean, I say that with seriousness because it is.
No, you know what?
Go ahead.
It's a new season too. Because look, going into the season, the person on Brandon's hottest seat was Steichen in Indianapolis, and look what happened after game one.
He actually wasn't the hottest. I said Arizona.
I mean, this season started off.
But I did say Steichen was in trouble.
Oh, Gannon in Arizona was your hot one.
Yeah, that was my hottest one.
Yeah. So I'm just saying this year is starting off. It's week one, and that's why they call it Overreaction Monday, and stuff like that. Because they want us to overreact, and I'm not right now. I know that
This isn't over.
the last two games with the blown leads, I know is driving Brandon nuts, and I understand that.
Well, it's not even that.
But
the Ravens blew the AFC Championship
I
game.
honestly
They
think
blew it the year
Baltimore,
before. They blew it the year before that. They blew it the year before that. They blew it the year before that.
and they might blow it again this year.
Like
They might blow it again
since
this year.
2002.
We never know.
2000,
But
whatever year the Harbaugh Bowl was. What was that? What year was that?
so my thing is I just think Baltimore's going to be okay. I'm just more excited about the Bears blowing the lead last night.
I expected
Because
Ben
everything
Johnson
in
has
Illinois is
some
right now.
I didn't expect Harbaugh to blow a lead. I expect it from a rookie coach. I don't expect it from a vet.
Yeah, that's why they play the games any given Sunday.
Exactly. And to answer
Yeah.
your question,
You're supposed to be a world beater. You're supposed to be this world beater. You don't know. No, you only get to take down Achilles once.
to answer your question, the Harbaugh Bowl was in 2012.
I said 11. That's close.
But
So 20
ultimately,
14 years. 14 years
So,
of Harbaugh.
Brandon, what was your take on last night's
How's he
game?
not on the hot seat this week? Huh? What?
I want to know what
Caleb Williams is in
take on
trouble.
last night's game. I've been waiting for
Caleb
this.
Caleb Williams is in trouble, man. He's in trouble.
I've been waiting for last night's game. Your take on it.
All right, so I picked Minnesota. And for 3/4 of that game, it was not going Minnesota's way. And then, in every game, there comes a moment when the coach has to make a decision. And Ben Johnson failed. He failed. And he failed because Caleb Williams overthrows DJ Moore by a freaking mile. How in the world are you a professional quarterback and can't hit your wide open receiver? And you didn't miss him by little. No. You threw this motherfucker out of bounds. You couldn't even keep it in bounds. You threw it so far. What are you doing? And when you're ahead in the fourth quarter and you have a guy named DeAndre Swift that the offense is not touching. The defense is not touching. He's actually getting yards. Why are we not running the ball in the fourth quarter with the lead? Back up. Why do when we get to situations
I'm actually
in
happy.
football, why do we go away from what got us there? If this is working and you can't stop it, I don't care. I'll tell you my play. I don't give a damn if you know that I'm running 23 blast or 24 blast. I don't care. I don't care. Stop me. When you show me you can stop me, I will change it. But you're going to have to prove me something. Show me. And they couldn't do it. Minnesota couldn't do it. Justin Jefferson had hands of bricks last night. I think he had at least 3 drops that I saw.
You did.
J.J. McCarthy didn't have the greatest game, okay? But here's the thing. When you have a coach in O'Connell who's this great offensive mind, and you have Ben Johnson who is this great offensive mind, why are we not doing anything to help our young quarterback out? Caleb Williams has been in a bad situation since he got drafted to the Bears. The Bears are just a bad organization, okay? And they've been bad since 1985, okay? 1986. They were great in 1885. In 86, they've been trash all the way till now, okay? Jay Cutler, I think, was their best quarterback since in my lifetime. That's saying something, okay? I guess Rex Grossman made it to a Super Bowl, got beat. You got to help your young quarterback out. You got to play action. You got to get your guys going. Like, Bird, you said yesterday you thought the passing game was going to have to get open. Yeah, you do have to get the passing game open. You do that by establishing the run game, because when you establish the run game, it opens the passing game. And when you open the passing game, then you work play action, and it does everything for you, and everything gels.
And I get that.
Helping the quarterbacks.
You know, ultimately, I'm going to give the Bears their props for the first couple quarters. And what do we call Caleb Williams? Shut down Caleb? He shut down beautifully. The play, it was working well for him. But then we talked about it last night. I don't know if they opened up the playbook or not, but when that second half happened, he can hit the broadside of a barn, as we say in the South. I mean, it was awful. He was throwing out of bounds, 5 yards away from the receivers. And then ultimately the couple great passes he made, and one was totally unnecessary. He blew up, got his own player, DJ Moore. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say what I want to say. Yeah.
Got him killed. Like, listen, DJ Moore has earned the utmost respect. Nobody on any show that I'm a part of is allowed to dog DJ Moore, ever. I don't care if he loses 10 steps and gets burnt by your grandma. I don't care. Nobody is allowed to talk bad about DJ Moore. I'm going into the locker room. I'm going to grab him by the face mask. I'm going to lift him up. I'm going to slam him up against the locker, and I'm going to say, you ever hang me out to dry like that again, boy, I'm going to hurt you.
But ultimately,
and that's the thing. He had one pass with the Dunze on the sideline, and if it wasn't for or the tight end Comet bringing that ball in, that was. Even if you watch on his touchdown pass to Dunze, if you watch his pass to Dunze, we always talk about the running backs, dancing in the backfield and not hitting the hole. Watch Caleb Williams. He dances back there. He is never sitting still trying to, hit that back leg and throw. He's dancing with his feet all the time.
We brought that up last night.
And that's, then he checks it down. You seen on his throws last night. His throws. It's been like that since he came his senior year in college. When he won the Heisman in his junior year in college, he was really great. But then he started getting hit his senior year, and it's rattled his cage. And then going to the Bears last year and getting sacked so much, that has rattled his cage where he's not confident being in the pocket.
And I'm glad
If I'm DJ Moore, I'm gonna make him cry to his mama.
I'm glad you brought that up, Corey, because there was something else I wanted to get into about this game. Now, you got a chance to go down and get another touchdown and possibly win the game in the fourth quarter. Caleb Williams rolls out, and the linebacker's in front of him. Why are you trying to throw it over the linebacker's head, and him standing like, what was it, about 3-4 yards ahead, where he could easily bat that ball down? I mean,
You know what? It wasn't even that play. You want to know what the play of the night that shows me what kind of person, how Caleb Williams is and his awareness? Is when he rolled out to the right and was running, and he stepped out of bounds before he threw the ball away. He has no awareness when it comes to anything. I mean, I've never seen a quarterback dump it down as much as he, besides a backup. We've seen it with Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush was great checking down.
At the beginning.
But he's a backup.
At the beginning, that's what was called.
Yeah, but I'm just
no, they were giving him one reads and check down. That's what the command was that he was given. You could see it because he would read his one read, it wasn't there, he'd check it down. Read his one read, wasn't there, check it down. Read his one read, wasn't there, check it down. And then they went away from it. As soon as they went away from that, they gave Caleb open range. He couldn't read the field.
No, he couldn't read the field. And if you watch,
he throws it 10 miles over DJ's head. And then hangs DJ.
Well, look at that. That's why I said on the touchdown pass.
Huh?
That's why I said on that touchdown pass, look at his feet on the touchdown pass to Odunze. He threw it off of his back leg with one leg up.
Yeah.
I mean, on that, there was no reason he should not have. He could have stopped. Odunze was so wide open. There's no reason, and he didn't have the rush. There was no reason he couldn't have set himself and thrown the ball. But he does that every time he takes a snap.
The way he throws.
And for a pass play.
The way he throws, honestly, we would never let him on the baseball field. I don't know if he played baseball or not. We would never let him on our field.
Oh, yes.
But he should have been shortstop. Great shortstop.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But, you know who it reminded me of as a shortstop, Brandon?
You say Jeter.
Sean Dunston. Right. Nope, Sean Dunston. Remember Dunston?
I remember Dunston.
Had the greatest arm. You just never knew where the ball was going.
I don't. Caleb would literally be throwing to the same spot every time. I don't feel like that'd be an issue.
If he could hits his feet work, the tape does not lie. Whatever. It is his feet work.
I seen Joe Burrow,
and I don't know what it's gonna. I don't know what it's gonna. I don't know what it's gonna take for him to understand to get his feet set.
So Joe Burrow,
and I know that has to deal with trusting your offensive line.
You gotta trust your receivers. You gotta trust your offensive line. You gotta do all. You gotta have trust. He doesn't. Dude, if you watch throws that
he doesn't trust it.
If you look at the throws that he completed, like, dude, his receivers were going up, climbing the ladder to go get it. They were reaching behind him and catching the ball. Cole Kmet laid out for one. That was a great catch. That is because of so many other great catches in the world. It's never going to go down in history as a great catch, but unless you saw it on film, you have no idea what I'm talking about because it was just a nice completion.
All right, I do have a question for the coaches, basically. Like somebody that's never played football and being a quarterback getting on the field, how long should it take to learn to read the field?
He should have known. He should already know how to read the field.
At this level,
you know what? He won the Heisman.
That's not my point.
He won the Heisman his junior year.
That's not
in college.
That wasn't my point and why I asked that. Because honestly, you look at how long he's been playing the game all through college and second year.
He started in Division I as a freshman.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? He has regressed since his junior year in college. He has regressed. If you watch him, you watch his footwork.
Bert, to answer your question, when you start throwing the ball is when you should start learning how to read. So if you start being a quarterback in the 6th grade and your offense in the 6th grade is having you throw passes, you should be in the game room learning how to read cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. You should know how to read. You should already know how to read at that point. So for Caleb Williams to not know how to read at the pro level, he should have already learned this in junior high.
And
So,
that's the point I was trying to get to. Thank you.
If some offense,
but he doesn't have trust, so that's
have quarterbacks, and they do just run, and so I don't expect those quarterbacks to be able to read. That's something that they're going to have to pick up at a later time.
That's what I'm saying with Caleb Williams, though. He just doesn't have trust. He doesn't have trust in his mechanics. He doesn't have trust in his offensive line. He doesn't have trust in his wide receivers.
How can you have trust when you can't see?
I mean, and
you can't trust what you can't see?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that sounds horrible. I trust in God.
I give up.
I get it.
I give up.
What?
I'm just saying, you guys are not seeing where the fuck I'm coming from here.
No, because he can't read.
You guys, you're the biggest one on film. You're the one on film. Listen, you like film. Watch Caleb Williams from his junior year in college to now. The film does not lie. That is why when the Bears picked him, not because it was the Bears, that I laughed. His senior year, he lost all his confidence, and he hasn't had a coach since then to build his confidence back up. That is why he's the dump down queen.
All right, to your point.
He has no confidence.
To your point, I agree with you. But while I was asking...
Sorry, I just had to make that point.
What I was trying to get
but here's where I disagree. He had CeeDee Lamb at OU, and he hasn't been good since. When you get him away from the one read option, you get him away from big time receivers like CeeDee Lamb. He's not been able to show up. He can't read the field. If you can't read the field, you can't trust anybody.
Well, but the thing is he has no footwork
Lincoln
either.
Riley,
that's what I'm saying.
Everybody thinks he's this great guy, and Lincoln Riley inherited everybody.
Yes, he did. But the thing is nobody's worked with him on his footwork is what I'm trying to get at. As a quarterback, if you don't have the right mechanics, you're not a quarterback. We've seen it. We've seen it all this, in the last couple of years.
Okay, so is this a testament to Caleb,
the quarterback,
Ben Johnson? Because Ben Johnson's supposed to be this quarterback whisperer like O'Connell.
Right.
And that, what, he's only heading to the preseason. I honestly think that Caleb, I guess I'm just not very high on Caleb Williams, period, because when he came out, I would have taken Jaden Daniels. Even though they played the same amount of time, just the fundamental ways of Jaden Daniels compared to Caleb Williams, it reminds me of Mitch Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes. Because when they came out of the draft.
Yeah, they've not been able to draft a quarterback, period.
Yeah, and I'm not putting that on Ben Johnson last night because Ben Johnson called a good game. It was when they opened up that playbook that you're right. When they opened the playbook, Caleb Williams couldn't hit the broadside of a freaking barn. But his throwing mechanisms are horrible.
I started to make a point. It literally proved my point. The point I was going to say, literally, it was going to take me away from that because I haven't been watching ESPN or Fox because none of them know what they're talking about. Well, Caleb Williams was a head and shoulders above everybody. I didn't think so. I saw him at OU. I saw him with Lincoln Riley. I saw him at USC. Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be at first. He was going to go number 1 or number 2 overall. He ended up falling in the 5th round. These guys. Clearly, either we don't know what we're talking about or something else. Because I didn't think Caleb Williams was number 1 to go overall. I didn't. I like Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels bad.
And I didn't either. Exactly. And that's the thing. And I unfortunately say, if we would have said, Bo Nix, we know where that would have went because of Caleb Williams. But stop that. Exactly. You know what? Bo Nix has been being a quarterback since he was able to hold a ball because his dad.
And I'm also saying
he was taught mechanicisms.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That was me. My bad. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I also said Bo Nix the only
You're
one
good.
that's not going to have a sophomore slump.
You did say that.
And what did you?
You know, I guess it's from living in Illinois, just hearing, I guess hearing it would be like, it's like you living in Oklahoma and everybody praising Lincoln Riley for the quarterbacks. It gets tiring hearing it. And that's the way I am in Illinois when the Bears get a new quarterback, and everybody puts it. You're right. Jay Cutler was the best one in a long time that's played with the Bears. I don't think they know how to draft a quarterback. Seriously.
They don't. Because they can't.
So
So they never had a
I'm just
four-star passer.
tired of. I'm tired of sitting. Yeah, I mean he. What was it? 29 or 49% of the second half passes were inaccurate, is what they said.
something to that effect.
That one should have been a pick six.
I mean
Van
that's
Ginkel catches that ball. That's over with. He jumped it.
yeah that. And that's the sad part is, how many times do you see somebody, if he would have pump faked there, what's his face would have ran right past it and he could have easily tossed it to the running back. But it's just,
He has no
IQ and
awareness.
mechanisms with him is just,
He has zero.
that's why I get passionate with, when it comes to the Bears, I get passionate on my fight with them because I just get tired of hearing, oh, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. This is this every year. And that offensive line looked okay, but it still has leaks.
All right, I got a question for both of y'all. The defense in the first half for the Bears compared to second half, how much? What did y'all see?
They carry that team too much. Unfortunately, again. I mean, with Odunze, DJ Moore, and Swift, and Cole Kmet, and their other tight end, they have the offensive weapons. There's no reason their defense should. And Minnesota's defense didn't look that good until like the third quarter last night.
There was a play, and I'm trying to remember when it was, but it was like the defense said, "Oh shoot, here we go again," and it was like the whole sideline was like, "Oh shoot, here we go again." We had a friend call it before it happened, and there was nothing in the game up until that moment that had showed me that the Bears were going to give this one away. With about 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, I realized my friend was completely correct. I saw it, the air just went completely out of the defense. And I think it started with a penalty.
I think you're right.
It was that one bad penalty, Brandon. It was the intentional grounding.
And it was like everybody on that sideline was just like, here we go. And it was quicksand. I mean, it was so quick, so fast, and so sudden. And I was like, oh, my God, Dio called it. He called it in the third quarter.
He called it before the third quarter.
Yeah.
Was it before the third quarter? And they hadn't shown any sign
Yeah, it was
of
before
life.
the third quarter. It was at halftime.
The Vikings had not shown any sign of life. It was a 6 point. They had 6 points on the board. And I was like, but the Bears were fading, and they were starting to go away from the one read option, and you could see it. And yeah, dude, that was crazy to me. It was crazy. Swift should have easily had.
My question is
And you know what?
yes, exactly. Swift should have had a lot more yards than he had.
And you say,
I don't understand what, like you said earlier, Brandon. Why do they go away from that? Why do these teams quit going away from what works for them?
and you say that pick six the Bears had. I thought that was going to lift him and carry him the whole game because it was like showing how he jumped that route and all. It was a beautiful play. I mean,
That kid watched film.
ultimately, what?
That kid watched film because he saw it.
I
He
know.
saw it and he jumped it. The kid watched film,
And-
and it was a good thing he was right.
Ultimately,
You know, that's the
it was. I thought that was going to be the game changer right there. To our friend's discredit, but to his credit, that this ended up being another play.
I didn't. Caleb Williams is also young. At any point in time, he was prone for a turnover. He almost had a pick six on his own.
here's you know, the funny thing is too is that just goes to show you differences in quarterbacks. Even for being this, you know, this first year quarterback, and JJ McCarthy, no matter what you think of him, he throws a pick six, but yet fourth quarter comes and he's starting to rip the ball out. I mean, mentally,
Well, Justin Jefferson.
I was impressed with that part of it.
Justin
Huh?
Jefferson's got to do his part. He's got to help out his young quarterback. That was crazy.
Well, yeah, I agree. I had him in fantasy. He didn't give me many points.
I know.
But, you know, that's what I'm saying is I was impressed with McCarthy because, you know, a lot of young quarterbacks, they throw a pick six and it's like, oh, here we go. But he was like the closer. He forgot about it.
I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up. Bird, you know, you were talking about you want to see your kid throw a pick in the game. I never want to see it in the game. But I want to say when McCarthy threw that pick six, I love the way he handled it. I thought he handled it like a true pro.
And that's why I say I want to see it in the game because I want to see,
Hell
like you
no.
gave. No, I'm gonna go back to what you said about.
No, you can't say that and then say I literally thought that play was going to change the entire game. You cannot
I'm not
say
gonna
that
say-
pick six was
I'm
gonna
not going to
change
say
the
that.
game. And then you did say that. It's recorded.
No,
We'll
you
watch
won't
it
let
again.
me finish the argument I was making. I was saying, compared to where you gave Clemson praise, gave Klubnik praise for the adversity, I saw the bad. I saw the adversity in how he handled it, so I totally agree with you. I mean,
You should have
that's
seen
why
that
I
in
said
practice.
what.
If you're his coach, you should have seen that in practice because you literally on this episode just before this said that you thought that was the entire game right there. That was going to change the entire course of that game. So why would you want to change the entire course of that game so you can see how your quarterback handles adversity? Now, please
Fair
explain
point.
that one to me.
Fair point. I have no comeback for that one. I'm speechless right there. So, for the
Thank you.
first time.
You know, that is probably the funniest thing, though. I mean, I want to see how my quarterback handles adversity, but I don't want him throwing a pick, especially a pick six.
Do it in practice. Don't 11 them in practice.
But
That means that you're trying to put it in tight windows. You're trying to figure out what you can and cannot do. Throw them in practice. Like I love it when people they're overhyping guys throwing interceptions in preseason and in practice. Dude, I want him to throw 100 in practice because I know that in game time
hey,
he's going to fit it in a tight window because he knows where his windows are.
Brandon, I got a actually question to ask
up?
you here. I want your honest opinion, okay? Because it's not really getting talked about. The Buffalo, Baltimore game. That catch that DeAndre Hopkins made, which we all agree was phenomenal. After he made that catch, they were over celebrating by the stands. And I guess a fan tapped DeAndre Hopkins on the helmet and he tapped Lamar Jackson on the helmet, smacked him on the helmet. Lamar Jackson pushed that fan. The fan has now been banned from football games indefinitely. My question to you is,
You don't know what was said.
when they were celebrating, they were right.
You don't know what was said.
Huh?
I've watched
Exactly.
Lamar
We don't know
Jackson
what was
run
said,
into
but-
many crowds and be touched, right?
Yeah.
He does not shy away from his fans. He understands his fans are why he is where he's at. That is one of the most humble guys I've ever watch his interviews, and that's a grown man talking. Now he may not talk the way that people want him to talk as far as proper grammar and all that, but what he says is truth, and he stands on everything that he says. That's a young man. That is a true man when he steps up to the podium and when he steps up to his teammates and everything else. So what I want to know is what was said in his ear to cause him to snap.
That is something. But my point I was trying to get to is we're starting to see it more and more, where fans are starting to, obviously alcohol's involved, other things and stuff. When that happens, we usually see the player get in trouble, either suspended or fined. Do you think that's fair?
I mean, so this is kind of a two-parter, right? So fans think they're entitled to these players, right? We have social media. We are closer to these players than we've ever been. Okay? Put your hands on me and find out. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
As fans, you've got to know not to cross that line. As a player, you've got to know not to cross that line. Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. He's had some incidents with the crowd. Being water thrown on you is still assault in some states. Depending on what state you're in, it's assault. Now, if that man is assaulted, if you're assaulted, your reaction isn't necessarily going to be to talk politely like Jesus was standing there. Okay? Sometimes emotions take over. I know. And so, I don't know. There's limitations to being a man, and I think the law has gotten too involved in things because you shouldn't just go around putting your hands on people because you think it's okay. And when you put your hands on people, you want to run to the police.
And that's what I was getting at because, and I don't think they're going to do it, but it wouldn't surprise me if the NFL fined him or something. But that's what I'm saying is these players, just like I say they have to be role models out, in public, when they're on their playing field and fans are assaulting them and stuff, where's the line crossed there? Because, obviously we're not got enough security out there that the players are getting touched and stuff.
And I said that on another live, on another panel yesterday. You know what gets me? And this is my whole take here. You have Lambeau Leap and all these traditional things that the players do within tradition. At Buffalo, they don't have that. I mean, just like the outfielders lean over the fans lean over in the outfield to try to get the ball. You got interference. I mean, honestly, the fans have to understand that they have etiquette to hold themselves to if they're going to be sitting down that low. That's all
Absolutely.
I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And it comes down.
Yeah.
And my next question on that same panel was this. Where was the security? Because if I'm looking at TV, if I'm watching college football, anything, normally in the end zone, you got 2 security guards right there under the goalpost by the stands on each side, and you got a bunch walking around. I mean, it's etiquette on the fans, but it's also keeping players away from the situation, but can you really? That's the ultimate question.
I'm
It's really on the etiquette.
I just want the players to be,
Go ahead.
and the thing is they always celebrate. It's not the first time we ever seen a visiting team celebrate outside the end zone. My biggest thing is, it's like you were saying, is Lamar Jackson as a person. I don't think, in my personal opinion, which I'm not saying he's going to get, but I've seen the leagues do it where they fine the player or they suspend the player, and as a fan not at the game, is for the players. What is enough? What they can do, because them pay, the etiquette. We know a lot of fans don't have etiquette, and even Lamar Jackson, he pushed a fan. I don't honestly, I don't think he should be fined or suspended.
I don't either.
I'm glad what Buffalo did to the fan. They kicked him out and stuff, but we see it the other way. We see the league go, well, you can't put your hand on fans. What are they supposed to do? What are these players,
Well, I mean,
that's why I was asking about it, because it drives me nuts.
and when we're talking about Lamar Jackson, he's not the face of the league, but he is a face of the league, and you don't see Lamar Jackson act like that. So for me, something had to have been said. And so you talk about guys going in the Lambeau Leap and doing the Lambeau Leap and all this other stuff, but it really all falls on fan etiquette, right? If you go into these situations, right, you obviously paid some pretty good money to be there, right? Just because you paid good money to be there doesn't mean you're entitled to touch these players, right? That's not everybody wants to be touched.
Oh.
So my thing is, like, why? I'm not an Eagles fan, I'm not an OU fan, right? I'm definitely not an Alabama fan, right? If Jalen Hurts and I were to meet on the street, right, I would shake his hand and ask him for an autograph. Hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 right? Because I'm not a shitty person. He's a human
I
being.
get that.
Just don't be a crap person.
Yeah, exactly.
And you won't get beat up.
All right. To your point, I got a question for both of y'all. We know alcohol is always
That's my
involved
that's my
biggest
biggest.
at the
That was
pro
my
game.
key.
You can't handle your drink, don't do it.
I agree. I mean, but
Exactly.
at some point, do you have to go back to taking it away and not allowing it, because
No.
one bad apple is going to spoil a bunch?
No, because that, you know what? Yeah, but you can't act like that. I mean, why should I? Yeah. These you can afford to have a seat right by the field. You should be able to afford to understand your limits. And if you can't, then you shouldn't be doing it.
That's it.
And that's my point with these athletes is, like Lamar Jackson, like Ron Artest, I mean, do that to one of us in the street, and what's going to happen? We're going to defend ourselves. These athletes are in their stadium, in their between the lines.
They're at work.
Yeah. Yes, they're working. So I just had to get that out there because, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen anything about them saying anything about fining him. But I mean, if they would have, it wouldn't have surprised me, and I wouldn't have agreed with it. So,
Ronnie, I got irritated with you because the WNBA, the Aces were on a run, but you were talking about the sexual toys being thrown on the court. Those fans absolutely should be banned and not allowed back in any game. Not just a women's basketball game, any game.
Any game.
Any stadium in any.
Well, it happened at.
I agree, and it was happening
it happened in an NFL game too.
Yeah, it was happening so much, and you know what? We're seeing so many instances of events happening, whether they're different, like Lamar getting pushing back or these sets toys or whatever. It all comes down to fan etiquette. It comes down to if I pay the
Yes.
price for the ticket, I want to be entertained. I want to be able to say I've been to a certain game. I want to know that I'm going to get my money's worth. And you know what? Ultimately, these bad apples you get out there throwing the sets toys, touching these players, doing everything, you're not getting the ultimate fan experience.
Let's go back to ancient Rome, right? The gladiators. Are you not entertained? Those guys were literally fighting to the death. And when you get in the football field and you have testosterone going, you kind of feel that way towards the other team, right? I'm not
It's a gladiator mentality.
maybe not to the death, but if there was lions and swords and stuff, would you jump down there and try to get in the mix of that? And if not,
No,
why in the hell are you trying to do it now?
exactly.
Exactly. So that is just I just had to bring that up because it was just something that over the years it just seems like this year in the last year or so it has gotten really bad. I know it goes through phases, but you know,
And it all falls back
I'm
to
just tired of seeing the players get punished for defending themselves.
And that's
crazy.
ultimately,
But yet we want to,
go ahead.
but we want to, make them, the public figures out in the streets and stuff. But yet when we go to their business, work of business, we don't know how, fans don't know how to act. And that's just what I'm kind of, it's a double-edged sword for them.
No, I definitely get that. And that's why I brought the stuff, the WNBA stories, because it was happening all over the place. It wasn't just about the WNBA with the women, it was about the situation we as fans see that we pay good money and we don't want to see that. We want to keep the focus on the game, not be, oh, look, who's getting kicked out, who's doing this. If I want to do that, I want to go to.
As a fan, I love to boo. I love to boo players and stuff, But even when I even like going to wrestling, okay, I know it's fake, blah blah blah. But I would hear people say stuff at wrestling matches that just made my eyes open. Like, what? People forget they're still human beings, and there's just certain things you don't do and say to them. And yeah, wow.
All right, Corey. So when we go see a game, we're gonna go sit on opposite sides of the stadium.
Why is that?
I don't boo.
That would be hilarious.
I don't boo.
Huh?
I don't. If you don't like
Hey,
it,
you know
don't
what?
have to say
I will say I do boo only because I don't say anything. I don't say stuff. You know what? I keep what I have in my head to myself. But if I see, my team now, when I will boo, I'm not saying I'm booing. Not saying I'm booing to. I don't know. I'm just a regular fan. I'm not gonna throw stuff down there. I'm not gonna, say something I shouldn't say. But I will boo. I
if
mean,
I'm a
that's
Ravens
just,
fan
you
and
know.
my team gave up the lead to Buffalo, yeah, I'm booing my team. But I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna go in anybody else's house and boo. I just won't.
Yeah. So, well, usually it's the Cardinals. I'll sit there and I'll boo down there. Trust me.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're a Cardinals fan.
But
I understand. I understand you booing your
and
Cardinals. I used to boo my Astros all the time,
hey, I have to. That's what I do. Is I've got something to send you I've got something to send you, Brandon, and I'm gonna send it on our thing here because it's funny, and I thought of you as soon as I seen it. But it has to do with Altuve.
Altuve.
It is funny as can be. It is funny. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I cannot
I like
believe
Altuve.
this." It was just something. It's one of those memes. So as soon as I can find it again, I'll send it.
All right.
Here it is. I'm gonna send it. I'm sending it right now to you and Rodney, so you both can see it in our thing.
My Astros are about to make a run this year.
What?
My Astros are about to make a run this year.
There we go.
It's gonna be Astros and Mets.
And I do think so. I
Astros
hope
and Mets.
so.
Let's go.
I
Oh man, come on! I can't do that one. I can do Astros.
Astros and Mets. Let's go. Astros and Cubs.
I think
Astros
I'd rather
and Cubs.
see the Astros. I'd root for the
I know.
Astros.
Astros and
Astros.
Cubs.
I said Detroit and San Diego. I guess we'll have to see.
Is Detroit still in it? Are they still leading the division?
I just couldn't. Yeah, they're still leading. Yeah, they've. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. Did you get
I
it
haven't
yet?
looked. It's September, so I'm fixing to start watching baseball. In fact, actually,
I am ready. I've been watching the full things. By the way,
I'm actually
the WNBA has a full slate of games tonight.
Yeah. In tonight.
So
Don't we start playoffs?
not. I don't know about tonight, but I know the Aces play the Chicago Sky, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Angel Reese is still suspended.
Is she really?
And
Yeah, they suspended her for detrimental
conduct to the team, or
to the team.
but
Dang, what'd she do?
Yep.
What do y'all bring that?
She came out. She said something. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she had something to say about the team, and yeah, she pretty much put down her team.
Dang, that's crazy.
all right.
So-
So the Tigers.
Yeah, she was leading the league in double doubles this year.
That's crazy.
So, all right, we're at 127, guys. Brandon, you want to send us out of here?
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all being here with us today. This episode was brought to you by Heaven City Hellbig Gear. Get your 15% off. HSHBgear.com. W Energy. Get your 10% off with promo code MARRIED on both of those. Styles Apparel, where we keep you in style. Styles with a Z. And, yeah, this is playoffs.
Tonight starts the playoffs.
I think so. Because it's on ESPN and stuff.
Does it? I just knew there was a full slate tonight. I didn't know if tonight was the last regular season game or start or the start off the playoffs.
Let me look.
I was trying to figure it out. I was just like,
Let me see here something. I thought they started Sunday.
It might be. That's what I'm trying to find out. I don't know. I got my Aces winning it all. Taking my ace.
I can't. After the run they've went on, I can't disagree with that.
All right.
They've been on tear.
I really can't. I can't disagree with that at all.
It's the last week of the season. The playoffs start Sunday the 14th.
Yeah, it is. So it is not a. Well, it says Las Vegas leads the series 2-0, a regular season series. Just kidding.
Regular season series.
You know we're still recording,
Las
right?
Vegas Aces still haven't lost the game.
So,
Y'all know we're still recording, right?
huh?
Yeah, I think my Las Vegas Aces are still on their
Yes.
run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Are they still?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15? Shoot, they're on a 15-game run.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, that's
Dang.
very impressive. Great job, ladies. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, guys, thank y'all for
I was gonna say.
joining us. We really appreciate y'all. Support the WNBA. Support my Las Vegas Aces.
Hit the follow button.
please. Race to 1,000. We have almost 1,000 listeners. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Peace.